Yesterday I had the idea to come up with my first scripted YouTube video. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was pretty excited. I spent 6 hours writing it, revising it, trying to include some jokes, make it relatable, trying to make it as enjoyable to watch or listen to as possible. Upon finishing the script, I sat down to record this video, and I came to the conclusion that this was the most tragic thing that I'd ever produced. And me being me, I refused to admit that the idea was just plain bad, and instead I started to wonder why I had never actually done anything that represented real public speaking before. This also got me wondering why public speaking was such a big fear in general, so I started to Google some stuff. And quickly I found out that this fear is actually called Glassophobia, and it affects anywhere between 25 to 75% of people, depending on which source you use. So for this video, we're just going to say it affects 50% of people. Reading about this a little bit got me thinking about my high school experience, because most modern problems can be traced back to the shitty school system because it was meant for life in the 1830s and not the 2020s. But that's a topic for another video. I did some reflection and I realized the only experience I have talking in front of a group of people, usually about 20 or 30, which would be a class size, was the occasional presentation I did here and there, where the actual presentation was never the emphasis of the assignment, but the content and the research were. I actually had this one project in a class where the teacher wanted everyone to give positive feedback to the presenter. So after my presentation, the whole class gave me blank stares, except for this one kid I barely knew who said he enjoyed the font I used. Not even the pictures in the PowerPoint, the fucking font. Basically, what I'm trying to get at is that I never actually received real criticism on my public not performing, but like presentation skills to help me produce these skills, which in my opinion are much more important than being able to open a Wikipedia page, copy and paste some work, scroll to the bottom, grab a link or two, and put them as some research you did to make it seem like you did any real work. These 2-minute presentations I did in high school where half the class would stutter every second word, and the sentence structure used was the equivalent to that of a first-year EAL student, was definitely more damaging to a lot of people's future abilities to present ideas, which is extremely important in the job market today, where a single idea could be blown up into a multi-million-dollar product. But, I mean, at least we know how to make more eye contact and how to copy paste. So, I mean, you win some, you lose most. And I know it seems like I'm bashing the school system hard for not teaching this skill, and it's just because I am. But, like, sure, some students have anxiety and whatever, and they don't feel comfortable presenting in front of a group because it might just be too much for them. And that's totally fine. This isn't like the group of people I'm talking about. But at least to everyone else, give them the opportunity to take classes to develop these skills instead of every single class ever being just blatant memorization of random shit that everyone's gonna forget right after writing the exam anyways. It's honestly really funny to me because the simple fear of not knowing how to do something screws over people a ton. Because, I mean, people become sensitive to any criticism they might get if they make a mistake, even though everyone doing something new is gonna make mistakes, it's just normal. So when it comes time to present a new idea, the people will spend more time worrying about what people are going to do or say or think when they mess up the pitch, that they forget nobody really gives a shit if you pronounce a word incorrectly, because it really just doesn't matter. I'm sure in even this recording, I've stuttered somewhere or pronounced a word incorrectly. I mean, I've been recording for, oh, look at that, a good example. But no, I've been recording this script for about 2 hours. And you know, I'm not perfect. It's my first time. Like, I mean, this video is also scripted, if that wasn't clear. But just for this one block, I'm gonna leave all my mistakes in there. But, like, I messed up, and it happens. Like, whatever. Like, it's not a big deal. See, I do it too, and I'm the one talking about messing up. You live, you learn, and you move on. Because what's the point of worrying about something that really doesn't matter? Especially if it's something as small as just saying a word incorrectly. And I'm saying all this not to call anyone out, but mostly just to point it out because, I mean, I'm also in the same boat where I never really developed these skills. And I can't really blame anybody aside from the system because a lot of people never even get the opportunity to develop these skills, including myself. I actually took a future in business class in 10th grade, hoping to learn how to come up with, like, new ideas or concepts and pitch them to people and then get feedback, like, cool businessy stuff. And instead, I got taught that credit cards with a lower percentage are better and that debt generally isn't a good thing to have, which was an absolute scam since, like, all the percentages on my potential credit cards were the same and I ended up in debt anyways. Thank you, university. Basically, what I'm trying to say is get out there and start talking to people, because even if you mess up, it doesn't really matter, because I mean, you're only going to get better at it if you practice it, and any feedback you get or criticism can be taken to speed up that improvement. And just stop taking things personally in life, because I promise you 95% of people out there don't even know you exist or forgot about your existence. So just do it and stop being a little bitch about it.